Hi there, it's me Desiree with Clearday. Today we're going to be working on an art piece. We're going to be needing some paper, some paint, a paintbrush, paper towels, some markers. So if you have everything you need, let's get started. So today's art piece that we're working on is that of a dandelion. So I made two examples here. One is with using a paintbrush, and one of these is with using my fingers. You can do whatever you're comfortable with. But today's is going to be pretty simple. I wanted it to be easy and something that we could all follow along with and do step by step. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get prepped. In order to be prepared, if you're using paintbrushes, you're going to want to have a jar of water or a cup of water. You'll want to have various colors of paint to use. And you can practice mixing up colors if you don't have a variety. I do have a variety, so I just kind of use some yellows, some pinks and reds, some greens, and that's kind of the palette I'm going with, blues. But you use what you have on hand. And if you're missing a color, try to mix them up and add in some extra colors that way. So I'm using a disposable plate for my paint. You can use paper towels, you can use palette paper, you can use anything that's not going to make a mess. You can use paper even. But you will need a pencil, a pen, and some markers. I'm just going to use markers, but you could use pencils to draw out your design first and go from there. So once you're prepped, you're going to want to have a paper that's sort of vertical, kind of longer at the top like this and not necessarily squared. What you're going to do is you're going to get your marker, or you can use black paint even, or a dark paint color. You're going to want to start at the bottom corner and make a line like so. That's all. You can start from the exact corner down here, or you can go a little higher, a little lower, but you just want it to be angled up. So that is what we are doing. Okay. Then you're going to want to draw a circle, just an open circle right where it meets. Okay, so that's what we're doing there. And from here, we're going to draw out some long strokes like so, just like a dandelion. And it's okay if they look kind of wonky. Okay, so this is just where I'm at now. You can see that. Then what we're going to want to do is do a couple that are kind of midway. About halfway from the longer strokes. And as you're doing this, think of wisps. Dandelions, they're kind of wispy, right? They float in the air. So as you're doing your strokes, think of that. Think of wispy, flowing lines. And you just draw as many as you feel comfortable with. I'm just drawing out a couple of long ones here. Okay, so once you get to about this stage, you're going to want to get a thinner line. I'm using a thinner marker here, but you could use a pen. And we're going to fill in this space with some strokes, just like so. All right. just like that. And I'm thinking again, wispy. You can flick your pen if you'd like. But just try to keep that circle from getting any ink in there, okay? And while you're catching up here, I would like to give you guys some fun facts about dandelions. So our first one is, the dandelion is the only flower that represents the three celestial bodies of the sun, the moon, and the stars. The yellow flower represents the sun, the puffball resembles the moon, and the dispersing seeds can sometimes look like the stars. Dandelions generally symbolize happiness, joy, and youthful thoughts, but can also symbolize health, power, perseverance, endurance, and determination. It is also said to represent the sun's power, good wishes, and prosperity. I thought that those were fun. All right. I'm just going to keep going here. I think I want to make some longer lines down here in this section. Did you know that to dream about dandelions reflects optimism in your life and is an internal motivation to do good things for others regardless of how it might benefit you? I thought that that was interesting. All right. Where are we looking here? Maybe we can do a longer one here. I'm just going back in and filling in where I feel like there's some space that could use some longer lines. I think that looks good. Did you know that the dandelion flower opens in the morning and during the day and closes at night for sleep? All right, so now that we have our base ready, now we can get out the paint. So I'm going to use a paper towel in between colors just to kind of wipe off the brush. I tend to not get a very clean brush when I mix, when I go to change up colors. I like when colors kind of mix here and there. All right. So now let's get started. I'm going to start off with the blues, I think. We'll start off with some blues, some greens. I like to think of the wind and flowing when I'm painting. And it's okay if you put a little bit of paint on the stems that you just drew. Just going to clean my brush. Wipe it off. See how I sometimes have some paint still on it? I'm okay with that. And then I'm just going to get a little bit darker here. And I'm still on those blues and greens. Go a little darker still. All right. Getting this periwinkle color here. Okay. I'm just sprinkling color all around, kind of like the wind's blowing it, right? Right off the paper here. That's what we're aiming for. So let's get some yellow in. Little flecks of yellow right off the page. All right. And let's do some green. And you know, you can do long strokes like so, kind of make some longer. There's no rhyme or reason, it's just art. All right, so this is where I'm at so far. I am cleaning my brush a little better this time because I will be moving over to the warmer colors. We're going to go into the yellows and the red and pinks. All right. Let's get some pink in here. All right. And some red. All right. Okay, so I just wanted to read off another fun fact about the dandelion. So dandelions are useful from the roots, the leaves, and the flowers. It can be used for food, medicine, or to dye and use it as coloring. And in the 1800s, up until the 1800s, people used to actually pull the grass from their lawns and their yards to make room for dandelions and other useful weeds like chickweed and malva and camel. I just thought that that was interesting because nowadays we use a lot of weed killers and pesticides and things in our lawns to make sure that the grass stays green all year round. Now it's easier to just go to the store and get things that we need, vitamins and stuff, but before the 1800s, we had to depend on the plants for those things. There's a lot of health benefits to eating and consuming dandelions. All right, so this is it. This is our completed dandelion. I hope that you enjoyed this craft and had fun with it. We'll see you next time.